For centuries, learning the Quran literally meant sitting right at the feet of a local teacher. But what happens when the absolute best teacher for you is, say, 5,000 miles away? Well, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unpacking the essentials of starting an online Quran education safely and effectively, straight from our source materials. If you've been putting this off because you just aren't sure where to begin, or maybe you're a parent trying to find the absolute safest digital environment for your kid, you are in the exact right place. We're going to build a complete roadmap together today.
So here's our agenda. We're going to cover the shift to online learning, the beginner's timeline, choosing between one-on-one and group formats, how to vet your ideal academy, and finally, those absolutely non-negotiable child safeguarding protocols. Let's get right into it. Starting off with Section 1, the shift to online learning. It's wild to think about, but the digital age has completely erased geographical borders for Islamic education. Now, you might be wondering, is distance still a barrier to authentic learning? Like without a local teacher right in your zip code, can you really get the real deal? The modern digital classroom says a resounding yes. You don't need to commute across town, and honestly, you don't need to settle for whoever just happens to live nearby anymore. Just look at platforms like Ajwa Academy. They are brilliantly proving this by seamlessly connecting students in the West with certified educators over in the East. We're talking about linking learners in the UK, USA, Canada, Australia, the UAE, and Europe directly with authentic teachers. This level of access is a total game changer. It means you can schedule classes around your 9-to-5 job or, your kid's soccer practice without compromising even a little bit on the quality or authenticity of the teaching.
All right, moving on to Section 2, the beginner's timeline. Let's see how your actual learning progression builds over time.
When you're staring at a completely new alphabet, feeling overwhelmed is basically a universal experience. But looking at the Al-Badri Academy timeline totally removes the panic. In week 1, you aren't memorizing some massive book. You're tackling just 5 to 7 letters. Simple, right? By week 2, you introduce basic vowel marks. Week 3, you start combining them. And get this, with just 30 minutes of daily practice, completing the foundational Noorani Qaida method takes an average of 3 to 6 months. Remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So the really crucial point here is that you don't just jump straight into reading. You systematically build up your foundational skills step by step. First up is alphabet mastery, then nailing those really unique Arabic pronunciations and articulations. After that, you learn how vowel marks connect letters into actual words. And finally, you step into basic tajweed fundamentals, which, if you don't know, is the science of beautiful, accurate recitation. Okay, Section 3, one-on-one versus group. Let's pivot to one of the biggest decisions you're going to make, choosing the right format. Because everyone absorbs information differently, looking at the Arib Academy guidelines helps a lot. We can directly compare the fast, focused results of private tutoring against the community feel of group classes. Look, group learning is fantastic for peer support, right? It builds a real sense of community. But keep in mind, it moves at a fixed pace. If you need a little more time on a tricky letter, well, the class might just move on without you. One-on-one, on the other hand, adapts entirely to you. It's distraction-free, and the feedback is instantaneous. Mastering tajweed means learning these incredibly subtle tongue placements that literally don't even exist in the English language. So, as this quote highlights, having a teacher's undivided, immediate attention to correct you the exact second you make a mistake is really the gold standard here. It creates a much stronger connection and deeper engagement with the text. That brings us to Section 4, vetting your ideal academy. Let's figure out how to choose the right institution without pulling your hair out. A quick internet search is going to throw thousands of results at you, so you need a reliable filter. The Quran My Way step-by-step vetting process is a brilliant checklist for this. First, always check for an ijaza. That's a formal certification of recitation mastery. Define your goals, too. Are you looking for memorization, reading, or understanding? Take a free trial to test the waters, evaluate the platform's tech, and check the teacher's vibe. And of course, always cross-check with actual independent reviews. Now, knowing the financials is absolutely key. The data here shows what a reasonable investment looks like. Reputable academies generally charge between $40 and $80 a month for 2 to 3 classes a week. If you're looking at private hourly rates, expect somewhere between $10 and $25 an hour. The major takeaway from all these numbers? If you see private rates dipping under $8 an hour, consider that a massive red flag. It almost certainly means you're looking at less experienced teachers. Quality instruction is an investment, for sure. And finally, Section 5, non-negotiable child safeguarding. I need you to focus closely here, because when you're inviting an educator into your home via a screen,
Safety absolutely cannot be an afterthought.
While a lot of places focus purely on the education side of things, the Oxford Tutor's Handbook gives us an absolute masterclass in the digital safety standards parents must demand. They provide a really comprehensive framework that any online academy dealing with children should be mirroring to protect kids from digital harm, inappropriate behavior, or exploitation.
Okay, Designated Safeguarding Lead, or DSL. You need to know this term. Any reputable online academy must have a dedicated DSL whose sole job is to handle welfare concerns within 24 hours. If you are vetting an academy for your child, ask them point blank, hey, who is your designated safeguarding lead? If they dodge the question or don't have an answer, you should look elsewhere immediately. Their job is to assess risks and take immediate action if anything at all is raised.
These guidelines lay out the super strict boundaries tutors must follow. A professional tutor will never, ever ask for your child's personal email or mobile number. No private social media contact, zero unsupervised private time. Furthermore, any lessons should always occur in an environment where parents have line of sight or can at least hear the interaction. It's all about making sure that digital classroom is totally secure.
And this is a really powerful reminder. Basically, when it comes to a safeguarding concern, taking action and reporting it always overrides keeping secrets. The guidelines make it explicitly clear. If a child discloses abuse, a tutor is trained never to promise to keep it a secret. The safety of the child is the absolute, paramount concern above the whole shebang.
So, are you ready to take that crucial first step? You now have the timeline, you know the red flags to watch out for, and you have the tools to ensure absolute safety for your family. Think about it. We're literally the first generation in history capable of beaming centuries-old sacred oral traditions directly into our living rooms with total security. It's amazing. The only question left is, how will you use this unprecedented access to shape your own legacy? Thanks for hanging out with me on this explainer, and happy learning.